Hello everybody, it's Refresh, and I am here to continue my sealed deck building for Ikoria, Lair of Behemoths. We have 6 packs here. We've already done another video. You can check that in the description below. And if you'd like to see some gameplay, I will be putting these 2 sealed decks up against each other and then up against the various challenge decks. We'll go ahead and get started by opening these packs and seeing what's inside. It's interesting to note that the packaging is different. This one has an easy to open clip on it. This is much looser than this one, and the color is just a little bit off, and the size is different, as you can see. So I'm wondering if one of these was made at a different manufacturer. All right, we have Go for Blood, Light of Hope, Of One Mind, Deadweight, Lava Serpent, Plummet, Wilt, Granith Healer, Excavation Mole, Ikoria Crystal, Clash of Titans, Boneyard Lurker, Obosh the Prey Piercer, Easy Prey in foil, a Plains and a Catbird token. These packs are backwards. We have a Companion token, Tranquil Cove, Fight as One in foil, an Eerie Ultimatum, Weaponize the Monsters, Blitz of the Thunderraptor, Alert Heedbonder, Wilt, Ram Through, Blazing Volley, Anticipate, Divine Arrow, One of Mind, Cathartic Reunion, Boot Nipper, and Dark Bargain. This was very low in creatures and high in non-creature spells. We have a Phased Dolphin, Bushmeat Poacher, Heightened Reflexes, Coordinated Charge, Frostveil Ambush, Suffocating Fumes, Savai Sabertooth, Fire Prophecy, Wilt, Pacifism, Ikoria Crystal, Clash of the Titans, Boneyard Lurker, Skycat Sovereign, Plains, and a Human Soldier token. We have a Blister Spit Gremlin, Blade Banish, Capture Sphere, Mutual Destruction, Spell Eater Wolverine, Sleeper Dart, Dreamtail Heron, Humble Naturalist, Spontaneous Flight, Wingspan Mentor, Sprite Dragon, Unbreakable Bond, Yorion Sky Nomad, Jengotha the Wellspring in foil, a Bloodfell Caves, and an ad card. Now we have a Convolute, Durable Coilbug, Raking Claws, Thieving Otter, Blitz Leech, Imposing Vantasaur, Blood Curdle, Adventurous Impulse, Solid Footing, Will of the All Hunter, Weaponize the Monsters, Skull Prophet, Gem Razor, Mystic Subdual in foil, an island and a counter card. We have a Blazing Volley, Blade Banish, Keep Safe, Dark Bargain, Blister Spit Gremlin, Greater Sandworm, Checkpoint Officer, Boot Nipper, Wilt, Divine Arrow, Ominous Seas, Monstrous Step, Heartless Act, Voracious Great Shark, Swift Water Cliffs, and a counter card. Wow, what an open. This is all over the place. And we have companions all over the place. So let's see if any of these companions are worth companioning. Jengotha is possible because it just cares if you have no more than one of the same mana symbol of the mana cost. And if you look at these, I don't have many cards except for Clash of the Titans and Greater Sandworm that has more than one mana symbol in its cost. And it just kind of ends up being a free 5/5 in your hand that you can get all the colors of mana with. So that's an option. Yorion would require me to build a 60 card deck, and that means that I have to play pretty much everything I have, which I think is going to be hard with the little fixing that I have, so I don't think that this is a thing that I want to do. We have Obosh, which only wants odd mana costs and land cards. This could be possible, or I could just put this in as a creature, obviously, without using the companion ability, and I'm not certain if this is something I can do, but perhaps we can look at what black and red would look like and then decide afterwards. We also have 3 Golgari cards, making me want to play Golgari. And then we have an Eerie Ultimatum, which would be amazing if I could play Eerie Ultimatum. But I don't have a lot of fixing for white, but maybe I'll find it in the green. So we'll go ahead and start looking at each individual color and sort of deciding if any of them are worth playing. It looks like red is our hottest color here in terms of the number of cards that I have in it, but we'll see after we look through all the cards. White has a Divine Arrow, which is an okay combat-oriented removal card. Checkpoint Officer can be okay to keep opponents out of the way. This is more of a sideboard card. Will of the All Hunter, I think, is okay because it can get counters, gets +2/+2, and you can cycle it. That probably makes it a decent combat trick. The Solid Footing is probably not as good unless you're playing the Butts deck, but I don't think that that's a really easy thing to pull off. Imposing Vantasaur is that Butts deck card, but because it cycles for 1, I like it a lot. Spontaneous Flight costs a lot, and that's one of the reasons why I don't like it, although it does manage to keep your creatures in the air, so that is cool. Pacifism is removal. It's not the best removal in this format, but it is a good removal card. I'll keep it. Survive Sabertooth is not terribly exciting. Coordinated Charge, I guess because it cycles, it's okay, but it's not an amazing card. We have another Divine Arrow. Fight as One can be good if you're in the deck that cares about having humans and non-humans, but we don't know if we're in that, so we'll consider that when we get there. Drannith Healer is good. It cycles for 1. Pretty much will always play it if I'm playing white. Light of Hope is as flexible as it is for 1 mana. It doesn't do a whole lot, and I think this comes out of the sideboard if we need it for something. White is okay. Nothing exciting here. Some role players, but I don't know that we're going to be playing white. Unless, we're going to Eerie Ultimatum, of course. Blue gets a Voracious Great Shark, which is pretty cool. It can counter an artifact or creature, and so it kind of 2-for-1s as it comes in. Omniscience can be good if I can draw a lot of cards, and that's mostly if I can cycle. So we'll see how we do with cycling, but it is a good payoff for cycling. Keep Safe, I think, is one way to get that Omniscience going, but it is very, very specific, and I think I only want to bring it out of the sideboard if my opponent has a lot of direct removal. We have Mystic Subdual, which I think is a mediocre removal card. I suppose it gets rid of all of a creature's abilities. That is not the worst here. I don't think it's great, though. Wingspan Mentor is really good because it can get your creatures up in the air and then power up your creatures, so I like it a lot. Not as good as Voracious Great Shark, but it's pretty good. Thief Hunter can be good if the right evasion can be put onto it, but not great in the middle. Convolute, I think I'd bring out of the sideboard if I needed to counter spells, but I don't think it is that good. I like Dreamtail Heron quite a bit. The Capture Sphere is mediocre to bad removal, but it is a kind of removal, so I might play that. Frostfield Ambush I like a lot because it can cycle for 1 in the early game, and in the late game it actually can lock down your opponent's creatures so you can get into for an attack or slow down your opponent for a few turns while you look for an answer. Face Dolphin I don't really like that much. I guess you can use it with a Thief Hunter to get it in, but yeah, not great. Of One Mind I think is good, as good as any divination is, but I also wonder if you're ever going to be able to get that benefit of being able to cast it for 1 mana. I don't think that's going to happen that often because a lot of these decks don't have too many humans in them, so I'm going to put it down here. Anticipate, I don't think is a card that you really want in this format because it doesn't really draw or discard, and a lot of things care about whether cards draw cards, so we're going to put that in the bottom here. We might play another Of One Mind. Oh, it's interesting. The printers must be different because this is green and this is blue. Blue I like, mostly because of the combination of these 3 cards. They're very strong, and I would consider playing it just for them. Alright, in black, Heartless Act is a good removal card. I like it, would play it. Bootnipper as a creature is pretty good, I think. Dark Bargain I don't like as much, especially since it doesn't draw, just puts cards in your hand. Blood Curdle is also good removal. We would play that. Blitz Leech I think can remove a creature, but I'm not sure that I like it because of its 6 mana cost. Durable Crowbug can be good in the right deck. Is this one of them? That's what we have to find out. Unbreakable Bond could be okay, again, if I want to get back some massively expensive creature, but we don't know what that is. So we'll have to see what is in the deck. Mutual Destruction can be good if I have things to sacrifice, like the Durable Coil Bug, but it is also not an amazing card. We'll keep it in mind. Suffocating Fumes is clearly sideboard, even though it has cycling. The Bushmeat Poacher can be okay, again, if I have things to sacrifice, like the Durable Coil Bug. I'll put it with the Mutual Destruction as a result. Dark Bargain may be a little too slow. We have it in the Boot Nipper, which I like. The flexibility of Lifelink or Death Touch is great. Easy Prey is a kind of removal card, not a great one, but it is foil, and it can cycle, so I do like it. Deadweight is probably better than Easy Prey in terms of removal, so black has a lot of good removal. I do like that. The creature set is kind of thin, and the cards are really thin, but it could be an option here. For red, we have a Blister Spit Gremlin. Like, when am I going to want to play this? If I'm playing a spells deck, I guess. Blazing Volley is a strictly sideboard card. Weaponize the Monsters can be good if I have some sort of sack thing going on. I don't know that I do, so we're not going to think of this too highly. Raking Claws, I suppose, can be a thing. It does cycle, so it's not uncounted, but I'm not really too excited about that either. Spell Eater Wolverine goes with Blister Split Gremlin because this is all in the Spells Matters deck, or at least the non-creature Spells Matters deck. Clash of Titans can be quite strong. Fire Prophecy can be even stronger. This is kind of expensive though, and yes, you can have your two opponent's creatures bash each other down, but it's not always going to be that good. Heightened Reflexes is a trick that may go in a very aggressive deck. I don't know which deck that is. Cathartic Reunion is okay. I think it is an okay creature spell, probably a little bit higher than the Spells Matters creatures. Blazing Volley is again sideboard only. Blitz of the Thunder Raptor is carrying if you have the Spells Matters deck, and if we have that, then it's good. If we don't have that, then it's not very good, and that's why I'm going to put it with all these other Spells Matters cards. It's a little better, I suppose. It kills a thing. Weaponize the Monsters can be good, but again, we don't know. We have a Clash of the Titans here. Lava Serpent, I think, is decent, just being a 5/5 that cycles, so it's good in the early game to just get rid of, to get something better, and then good in the late game. I think that's why we're going to keep that. Go for Blood cycles for 1, and I think that makes it easy playable. Probably better than Clash of the Titans. It's interesting, red has a lot of cards, and a lot of non-creature spells, so it can get its non-creature thing going, but there's not a lot of synergy for it within the greater card pool, and so I don't know that this will get played. We'll put it like this. Now to look at green. Green gets us a Monstrous set, which cycles, which is good, and getting +7/+7 is great, but I don't know that for 5 mana it's what we're really looking to do. I guess it cycles, so that's something. Wilt cycles, it's sideboard, but you can play it. I like Greater Sandworm a lot. Gemrazor is fan-freaking-tastic at 4 mana for a 4/4 that can destroy enchantments or artifacts. Adventurous Impulse is a 23rd card if we need it. Maybe get played. Humble Naturalist can get played. It is a kind of ramp card, but not the best. Wilt I don't love. Ram Through is removal. I like that. Another Wilt. We have a lot of Wilts. An Excavation Wall is a really mediocre creature. Another Wilt, and a Plummet, which is a strictly sideboard card. Green is very thin. There's not a lot here that's making me want to play it, and so we would need a strong reason to play it. I think a strong reason might be these three. We have Skull Prophet, which is ramp and mill, and then Boneyard Lurker, which can get cards back. So this is a nice grindy set here. Other than that, what are we looking at? Alert Heatbinder in white and green. Mashing those two colors together. I don't know about that. I think blue and white might work because we have Yorion and Skycat Sovereign. And I don't think we're going to play Yorion as a companion, but that's an option. Green and white gets us this guy, who is just alright, I suppose, if we can go wide enough. Jingatha is in red and green. It's mixing two colors together. It doesn't have a high number of quality creatures. We'd have to cut a few cards out, but Jingatha could be a companion if we do so. In red and blue, which is the Spells Matters, we have a Sprite Dragon, which is a good payoff for Spells Matters, and we do have a lot of spells between them, so that is actually something I want to consider here. And then, I don't know how we're going to get Eerie Ultimatum off, because we don't have a lot of fixing for those colors, but, I mean, if we do, then that is an option for me as well. Then we have some fixing for white and blue, so that makes white and blue, again, very attractive here. Let's go ahead and play around a bit and see what we can do. I think the first set that we're going to try here is off of the trio of these cards, the Boneyard Lurkers and the Skull Prophets, to see if we can build maybe an Eerie Ultimatum deck that we can splash into with black and green. So we'll pull everything off and see if we can put that deck together. So unless I want to play a lot of real filler cards, this does look to be quite thin. I'm going to have to play cards like Adventurous Impulse, maybe some Wilts, some Dark Bargains to really get there with this deck, and I don't think I want to do that. So despite the fact that I have the Eerie Ultimatum that makes me want to play this, I mean, what am I going to do? Like put in white in order to play this deck? I don't think I want to. I don't think white is a very strong color in this particular pack, and so I think that this is out. Next, we'll go ahead and go try Abash and see if we can do a black-red thing since black is already out here. Alright, red and black is very thin on creatures. I don't think that we could make this work. We would probably need something else to be our main color here. So despite the high level of spells and some spell synergy, we probably should not be playing this pair either. We'll try Spells Matters next. This is still not great, but I think it's just on the cusp of being slightly better. 10 creatures is a very low creature count, and I'm not sure that that's enough to hold a deck together here. So I think we're gonna pass on this one as well. As fun as it would be to get the one Sprite Dragon and the Blister Spit Gremlins and the Spell Eater Wolverine just crashing in off of this, and maybe getting some massive card draw to get the Ominous Seas going, I just don't think that this is enough. So we'll look at the next color group. Alright, that is blue and white. So that is just 11 creatures. I think that this pool is going to be really short on creatures, and I don't know how to fix that except by trying to wheedle in some alternatives. I'm trying to figure out how to do that. I suppose I can just try to rely on removal to get this deck through. Tempo them out with removal and freeze effects, and then try to get through the air. Adding the Alert Heat Bonder, even though it's a double white, can possibly get me just one more threat. Certainly not using Yorion as a companion, because I'm going to have to pretty much put the entire deck in here. But maybe this is how I do it. And then we'll just cut the stuff that's not so good here. So I think we can try to get there with Ominous Seas, getting the Thieving Otter across, maybe with the Wingspan Mentor or the Spontaneous Flight. And then we will just pitch everything that doesn't quite fit. So Fight one is not as good because we're not really balanced in the numbers. I think Sleeper Dart may be too slow. We could splash red off the Swiftwater Cliffs if there's anything good enough. We could splash the Lava Serpent because it cycles. We have a lot of non-creature spells, so the Sprite Dragon might actually be good. I need to cut 2 more cards. Mystic Subdual is probably the worst of these. I think we board this in if we need it. I think I cut the Dolphin. As much as I like the idea of using it to get the Thieving Otter through, as a 1/4 body, it's kind of on the weak side. We'll pull 1 Divine Arrow because it's the most restrictive of all the removal spells. That is our 23 card deck. Seems like we're pretty evenly split between white and blue, with the most tiniest splash of red. We have 1 red land already. I think I want at least 2 more. So we'll have 2 mountains. That'll take us to 4 of 17. I already have 2 blues and a white, and so I think I want 1 more white. And so 7 plains, 6 islands, 2 mountains. And with those lands, this is the deck. Let me know what you thought about the opens and the deck as I built it. If you had some alternatives, please let me know in the comments below what you think. If you found this video enjoyable, hit the like button. If you'd like to see more of my videos, you can hit subscribe. This is Refresh. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.